Marco Rubio spoke at the National Right to Life Political Action Committee on the campaign trail, and during his speech, he made an eyebrow-raising comparison.
In a world where life is increasingly not valued, where people are summarily discarded, America must always stand for the belief that all life is worthy of protection because all life comes from God. Our nation has strayed from this purpose. Our government, ever since a historically and egregiously flawed Supreme Court decision, has condoned the taking of innocent life and has done so on a massive scale. And particularly under our current president, America has declined to stand on the side of life around the world. The White House needs an occupant who values and prioritizes life. And so my pledge to you is this: if you help send me to that place, I will never forget this place. And I will bring advocacy to the White House, and we will get things done. And we will advance the cause of life at home and around the world. You know, sometimes in contemporary American life, we come to believe that all the great causes are over, that the past generations fought all the important battles: abolition, the civil rights movement, women's suffrage. But it's not true. In fact, one of the most important battles is the one that you are engaged in now.
Really, dude? Really? You're going to say that the fight to end abortion is equivalent to the civil rights movement ending slavery and women getting the right to vote? Seriously? Let's take away a woman's right to choose, and oh, how noble we are. We're like the civil rights movement. We're like the people who ended slavery. We're like people fighting for women to get the right to vote. Well, no, Marco, and if you think about it, and if you think about it historically, you'll realize very quickly that every single step of the way, who were the people trying to block it? The conservatives. The conservatives were trying to block civil rights. The conservatives were trying to continue slavery, and the conservatives didn't want to give women the right to vote. But now, somehow, magically, the conservatives are the ones who are more on the right side of history. Spare me. Just spare me. And I also find it hilarious that he said, America must stand for the belief that all life is sacred because all life comes from God. You want to shake on that right now, buddy? Let's shake on that right now, because what logically follows from that? You were against Iraq, right? You were against the Iraq War. You want to talk about a wanton disregard for life? How about the fact that minimum 200,000 people died as a result of that war? So you're against that, right? You're against the drone policy that's blowing up grandmas picking vegetables in Pakistan and blowing up wedding processions. You're against that, right? You're against the drone program because you told me we must stand for all life. So you're also against the death penalty, right? You said all life. America must stand for the belief that all life is sacred because all life comes from God. So you want to abolish the death penalty. Because, look, people make mistakes. It happens. We need to be better people and rehabilitate them. You can't do an eye for an eye. You can't do something like that. You can't kill somebody who killed to prove that killing is wrong. That's ridiculous. So all life is sacred. So no more death penalty. That's the page you're on, right? Or how about the social safety net for the poor? You just said all life is sacred. So you would never take away $1.50 per meal from a poor black kid in Harlem, would you? You wouldn't cut food stamps, would you? You would never be against universal health care, right? Because people die. 45,000 people die in America every year because they don't have access to basic health care. 45,000. And you just said all life is sacred. So that means you're in favor of a Medicare for all system, right? To stop that. No, of course not. When he says all life is sacred, he means all fucking zygotes are sacred. He means all gametes, all embryos are sacred. All piles of goo after you just fucked are sacred. That's what he's saying. Okay, and understand, man, every time we talk about abortion, I have to mention that I'm not even like a hardline progressive on the issue of abortion. I'm basically against late-term abortions unless, it's a case of rape or incest, or if the life of the mother is in danger, if there's a a fatal defect in the fetus and the fetus won't survive anyway. So I'm a moderate on the issue of abortion. But the reality is that when you're dealing with the Republican Party today, they're so fucking extreme that they're laughable. They say shit like all life matters, but really what they're referring to is a gamete or a zygote is equal to a human being because I say so, even though scientifically that makes no sense whatsoever. So spare me your moralizing, because the only time you seem to care about morals is when you're talking about this issue. When it comes to war, when it comes to the death penalty, when it comes to the safety net, when it comes to healthcare, all of a sudden that concern for all life is out the fucking window.